So let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever been fishing, thrown the Ned rig, got that thing hung up, and figured, why in the heck is there not a weedless version of the Ned rig? I throw this thing, I get it hung up, I can't fish it everywhere that I want to fish it. Why isn't there a weedless one? Well, now there is, and you can even make them at home if you want. In this video, I'm going to show you the brand new Dual Molds Weedless Midwest Finesse Jig Mold, and we're going to be able to make weedless Ned rig jig heads at home using the components that we're going to be using in this video. You're going to be able to make awesome Ned rig baits that are weedless at home using the stuff in today's video. I'm going to walk you through that process, and make sure to stay at the end because I got a bonus tip for you when we get to painting everything. Okay, so this mold doesn't even need a weed guard. The hook is specifically made in order to make these weedless. Now you can make them in multiple different sizes from 1/16 ounce all the way up to 1/4 ounce, so your shallow and your deep presentations are covered with this one single mold. So I'm going to be putting a product list together for you guys to make this super simple. That's going to have the mold, it's going to have the hook that you need, different color paints that you're going to need, and it's all going to be listed down in the description with my affiliate link. Please use my affiliate link so that way Dual Molds knows that I sent you to their website to pick this stuff up. It really helps me out if you guys use that link. Guys, the stuff that you need in order to make these baits is super basic. All you're going to need is the Dual Molds Midwest Finesse Jig Mold in the weedless one. You're going to need these Victory hooks. They have that specific bend in the hook and everything like that to make this bait weedless. And then you're going to need some ProTec powder paint in order to make sure that you paint these an awesome color. This is the plum one. Really, really cool color. And I'm going to show you guys finished products all painted and everything at the end of the video. So if you guys have actually made lead-based tackle in the past, the process to make these is going to be the same. You're going to need to have a lead pot. This is the Lee production pot. I can put 10 pounds of lead into this pot, and it's a bottom pour, so it pours out just like so. And then you pour that right into the mold. You have your hooks and everything laid out inside the mold. The process is really simple, but you know, you can make tons of different things, but you're definitely going to need something to put your lead into and get it melted down. So since our lead is ready to go, all we got to do is lay in our hooks. We're going to be making 3 different sizes in this particular pour, but this process is simple. All you got to do is lay the hooks inside of your mold just like this, and then we are making an 1/8 ounce, a 3/16, and a 1/4 in this particular pour. So as you saw with the mold, once that lead's melted, all you gotta do is simply put everything inside the mold and start pouring. It's a pretty simple process. Once that lead is cooled off inside the mold, you can take a pair of pliers or something like that and start pulling everything out of the mold. Don't use just your bare fingers because that lead still will be hot. Even though it's solidified in there, it's still gonna burn your fingers if you use just your fingers. So make sure to use some sort of a tool. I just use a small pair of pliers to pull everything out. But pretty simple process like you guys saw, and check out that hook. That thing's pretty cool on how it gets us a weedless Ned rig. Let's make a few more and then we're gonna start prepping these for paint. So in most situations you're gonna be painting these. Most Ned rig scenarios call for, you know, natural colors, green pumpkins, stuff like that, because you're usually fishing the Ned rig around clear water, or at least I am, so I'm using a lot of those colors. So you're going to be painting them, and what you need to do to paint them is pretty simple. You need to prepare them, you need to cut that sprue off, you're going to need to file them down a little bit so you get a nice clean head on it, and I like to file mine a little bit longer so there is a true flat side on there. It's just going to help that Ned rig stand up a little bit more on the bottom. So another thing you need to be cognizant of when you're preparing these to paint is look at the eye of the hook. Make sure there's no lead in there, and if you do see lead in there, make sure to take your sprue cutters or whatever you're using to cut that sprue off with to just cut that lead off of the eye, so that way you don't have anything covering that eye up when you go to paint. paint these, the process is just the same as any other jig head. You're going to have to heat the jig head up with a heat gun or whatever source of heat you like to use, and then you're going to dip that in there, swirl it around. And with these, you don't want to dip it and leave it in there too long, because if you go too thick, these do have a tendency to drip when you go to bake them. But in this video, I'm going to show you 3 brand new colors from ProTec. This is the plum color right here. We also have purple smoke, and then we have mango melon. I've seen these all personally myself so far. Pretty cool colors. Got some flake in it. I think you guys are going to like them. So once you decide it's time to paint these, you got to pay attention to the paint in the hook eye. If there's paint in the hook eye, you just got to take an eye buster tool and bust that out. Sometimes I take an eye buster tool to get it started, and then I'll take an actual hook point of like an old hook or something like that, and I'll just make sure that that hook eye is nice and clear, so that way you're not going to have any issues when you're out on the water trying to tie this to your line. If you don't do that and you skip this part or don't pay attention to it, I guarantee you're going to have some of these that have openings and some of them that don't. Okay, so the next step in this process is simply putting these into the toaster oven. All I do is I just literally start adding them onto these little grates that I basically made myself. I just strung wire onto the existing grate, and I was able to hold a whole bunch more of these. And what I like to do is I like to bake them at 350 for about 20 minutes. So at the beginning of today's video, I told you I was going to give you a bonus tip. This is your bonus tip right now. When it comes to powder coating your baits, make sure to bake it twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in there for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Once the timer goes off, I'm going to open up that toaster oven again, let everything cool back down, and then I'm going to close it back up and do an additional 20 minutes at 350. Makes everything much more durable. That paint's not going to chip off as easily, and you're going to be really happy that you spent that extra 20 minutes and got that paint double baked, because it just makes everything a lot more durable. It's almost time to show you guys the finished product. I actually made some Ned rig plastics in order to show you guys the completed finished product. But make sure to check the video description for an entire product list and to save my affiliate link, because if you use that affiliate link, I will get credit for any sales that come through, and it's one of the ways Do It Molds is monitoring my activity and monitoring how many people I can get over to the website and how many sales I can generate. Well, there you have it. Now we have a Ned rig that's very much weedless, as you can see. No more getting hung up with that exposed hook. Now we have something that we can Texpose into that Ned rig bait of our choice and have something that we can throw into all kinds of cover, all kinds of structure, and not have to worry about getting hung up. The new Weedless Midwest Finesse Jig mold is going to be a great addition to all of our tackle making arsenals, and now I know a lot of other people are going to be making them out there and offering up to everybody. Make sure to get some for yourself. Get this mold, get the stuff that you need to make this mold. Make sure to check out the description down below this video to see the whole product list and use that Do It Molds affiliate link. And if you guys want to watch any more tackle making content, make sure to hit that playlist that's on the screen right now. And if you want to watch any other stuff that YouTube thinks you're going to like, there's another video up there for you guys to click as well, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya!